Hi, my name is David, and what you see here is a completely disassembled Shark evoline Series 3 helmet that's brand new. I got tired of not finding any reviews on YouTube or anywhere else really for it, so I decided I would make my own. One thing I do want to mention real quick is that I will be sending this helmet back, as when I was removing the sun visor, the clip here came off. As it turns out, it was never glued to the metal rod that was lowering and raising the shield. It was just clipped in with this little bit of plastic here and held on. So when you depress on this to disconnect it from the sun shield, what actually happened is it disconnected from the sun visor and the mechanism. Okay, now that I realized that you could not see that little piece I was holding in the main video, I wanted to show you what I was talking about. If you can see down in there, if there's just enough light, when you move the lever, see that's a little metal piece that raises and lowers the sun visor. And this here is the piece I was talking about. As you can see, the part to the left is what clips to that metal piece, and the part to the right is what goes through the top of the sun visor, which is right here, and then it would then connect to the metal apparatus afterwards, like so. And that's what came off and why I'm sending it back. Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about real quick before I start reassembling this helmet. Show you the inside. As you can see all around it, it's got some really deep air channels, which is really nice. I noticed in the description it said that they had redone the ventilation on this helmet, which with the chin bar closed is one of the factors that the owners had been complaining about. However, one of the things I was really hoping for most was an exhaust vent on the back, which, as you can see on this helmet, because of the vent design, is always going to be difficult, but I was hoping for some lower ones here at the back, just on the bottom. Another thing I want to talk about is when you go to a modular helmet, you are always losing a little bit of safety from a full face helmet, as I'm sure most of you know. As what you can see here, though, is one of the key factors that allows us safety is the hinging mechanism, where the modular helmet actually closes. You notice on a lot of more expensive helmets, they have a 360-degree metal closure inside. This here is actually a plastic bit, which I am not too thrilled with, and it basically on the inside of the movable part, it just kind of has a bend down metal piece that clips over that. Now, this helmet was rated, you know, it's ECE rated, and it says on the lens it got 4 out of 5 stars on a Sharp helmet review, which is quite fantastic. So I hesitate to criticize it if it works. However, I was really hoping for a more steady closing mechanism for this. One more thing I want to mention real quick before I start assembling this thing is what I want to show you is this interior is really soft and comfortable. It is high quality stuff. I'm impressed. However, I wish they had made these pads on the strap just a little bit longer. They're not quite long enough to go all the way across the bottom of my chin, as you may see in some of the pictures. However, I'm not sure that's an end game thing. It would be nice to see just a little bit more length on this, or maybe some kind of sleeve that slides over this or something. Okay, now let's start by installing the sun visor. Obviously we can't do this metal part right here, but what we can do is clip these back in. It's real simple. There's a little slide in place on the sides, and these just clip on and clip straight to the hinge mechanism for it. So you slide it in one at a time, one click, and then one over here, and it's done. And it actually slides rather easily up and down. Obviously the mechanism would work had it not broken off. Okay, next we're going to install the screen. Basically, it just, if you can see this right here, there's a pivoting point right here, and then these little triangle inserts just kind of snap in right here on the helmet. It's a little difficult to show. I don't have a cameraman or anything, but Basically, one thing I should note is that when you're taking this shield off, you just push on this and it rotates out, and you can do one side at a time. However, when you're putting the helmet back on, both of these need to be up, and it really helps if you get both of the rotating bits in, and then you just kind of slide it down. So let me see if I can do that real quick. Alright, and then you just basically just go like this and test it out, and it is functional. Okay, now to install the guts. We're going to start with the liner because we're going in reverse order. Before we install the liner though, I want to talk about it real quick. It is a 3D liner here, and what you'll notice is there is a little piece of, I guess, real tight mesh here at the top where this top vent comes through. And I guess it's just there to keep any little bugs or anything that might get sucked up from getting on your hair. And there are also two slits with mesh here to help heat get out. Now, to install it, what you want to do is these curved bits here on the end, you want to start on one side, and they fit here underneath the lip right here. And then these tabs right here that go across the top have corresponding slots that they slide in here. Unfortunately, I can't really do this on the camera for you because it's just me. But once you get that done, you just kind of push the liner in so it fits in, and then these two snaps in the very back here have the snaps that fold in, so they are behind the foam for comfort, but they just snap there in the back, and then you're done installing the liner. Okay, next we're going to install the cheek pads. It's real simple to do. As you can see here, there's a spot for Velcro right here, but before you put the Velcro in, you just got these three snaps. Here's the corresponding cheek pad. Really couldn't be simpler. You just put, connect your snaps, and then you just put the Velcro down. The Velcro is nice because it creates less of a pressure point for your head right there. And one thing I want to talk about this, and I'll finish this one in a minute because I'm one-handed here. But if you get the audio system for it, there are these fabric pieces here that you pull off and they make room for the speakers inside your helmet. Okay, and the last piece that we have here is the neck roll. And reading the instruction book, it looks like some people tried to put it in upside down because they made sure to mention that. So obviously, if you didn't know, this side goes down. The removal instructions confused me a little bit, so I wanted to do this in two takes so I could show you this, or two cuts rather. The instructions make it sound like it just clips in. What it actually is there's a round piece of wire that goes along the edge of this, and it bends in, and you just basically put one end into this little groove right here, and then you work the wire underneath the lip here all the way around, and then install it. Okay, now that we're zoomed in just a little bit more on the helmet and the improv rigged towel donut, which I guess works, let's go ahead and get started. It's real simple. You just slide this in here, and it is the top bit. It looks like there might be another little groove for it below it, but it really is, it just fits in this top one here. And then you just, boom, installed. It's real simple. That's it, and there's your neck roll. Okay, now that we got the neck roll and all the guts installed, except for that broken piece, I want to show you the mechanism here. I was able to operate this one-handed, but it's a little awkward. I think at least until I got used to it when I was riding, I would probably only change the configuration when I was stopped. It does help when you start to move this, if you push back, say, and this is the left side because it's not your throttle hand, you just push back and it starts and it slides around, and then when it comes down you do need to push in, and you can hear an audible click on both sides. And then to get it to go back the other way, you push this red button here, and basically you push it towards the front of the helmet. And when you do that, in case the shield's down, I forgot to mention that earlier, the shield has to be up for the mechanism to move, but it has a little button here that will push the shield up a little bit. I find it easier if I just start like that, but you push this button forwards, and then you just it just swings around like so, and then you're in the open configuration. Alright, now bear with me, I know this is a long review here, but I have a couple things I want to mention. It looks like on the chin vent, if you see these two indentations, you just go straight from the chin vent, and it looks like these slots here will also blow air directly up on the air shield, so I guess that will add maybe some more ventilation to your chin. And it's just an open and closed vent right there. Of course it has that wire mesh in the background and everything. The top vent seems to be fairly far located far back on the helmet, which means that it's better for the upright riding position. You know, again, without the exhaust vent, I'm not sure how effective that's going to be. I don't want to take it for a test ride with a broken part. However, I know in the 2 Series, the ventilation was said to not be that great, and the main ventilation was said from switching to open face. Another thing, as I put this side by side by my other helmet, and of course my other helmet has no sun visor and is non-modular, so it is both smaller and lighter. However, I would not say that this is a heavy helmet. I have worn it, and I sat on the couch for about 30 minutes with it on just to see, and my head did not get particularly hot, and it did not feel particularly heavy. Again, just to go over pros and cons. It's convertible to open face. It is both ECE rated while open and closed, which no other helmet can do right now. The closing mechanism to me looks a little shifty. However, it does hold the ECE rating and 4 out of 5 stars on the Sharp rating. This can actually, there's a sticker advertising that. I did test it out with my Camelback. I was able to drink out of my Camelback with the face down. I'm more of a face down type of rider. I don't like to ride open face. I mainly got this so that if I wanted to grab a snack or something while I was riding. So it would be good for that. However, I'm not really sure that I want to keep this helmet, because as I don't like to ride open face, I'm looking for better ventilation when the face is down. Another thing is it is very comfortable inside, a little snug, but the little extra padding on the chin strap would do wonders. The overall quality and build and materials and everything actually seems to be very good, except for this one little piece, which why they didn't glue this on, I don't know. Maybe this could be just a one-time thing. I really don't want to condemn this helmet for that piece. Overall, it's a very good helmet. I don't think it meets my needs, as I like to ride with the face down a lot in hot weather. However, if you like to ride with an open face but want the safety or maybe just protection from the weather or whatnot, of being able to lower the chin, then this helmet might be for you. And the last thing I want to mention is the manual said that if you try it on and you put your head in the lowest position, your helmet should not touch your chest. This is the smallest helmet of this make that will actually fit on my head, and when I lower my helmet, it does touch my chest, which is a concern. So if you're concerned about that, which I suggest you should be, I recommend trying it on. Everyone is different. Apart from that, I would say I'm impressed with this helmet, and if the open face fits your riding style, I would actually recommend it. Apart from that, thanks for putting up with the long video and endless footage of my hairy knees. You see why I actually put on some shorts for this take. That's a joke. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, I'll have it for probably a couple more days before I sell it back, or ship it back, because someone else that I know wanted to see it. So if you have any questions, post them and I'll see what I can figure out for you. Thanks.